Learned friends, we all know that the language issue for the ruling clique, the Hindutva forces, they take up this issue as or to make it as an issue reflecting our commitment to patriotism and nationalism, that is unitary nationalism. So they abuse the language issue to promote a false category of patriotism and a unitary nationalism. Whereas we are interested in the language issue to promote a liberal democracy and a federal polity. Where lies the difference? Now it is a conflict between two ideologies. We are all committed to that progressive ideology which recognizes democracy as the basis of our system and federalism as the basis of our political structure. Now they say that if you are a nation, you must have a national language, a linked language, an official language. So Hindi, according to them, as a language of the majority people, should be made as the sole official language for all the people of all other languages. Friends, we are living in a democratic age. Our national movement had many dimensions. It was not merely meant for a single purpose, change of regime or removal of rulers. The national movement had other dimensions too. The national movement was meant to secure a defeudalized state, a demonarchical state, and a federal structure with equal dignity and rights for all the constituent states. And our constitution recognizes India as a multilingual union. Equality, as we envisage, should assure us equal dignity. If whatever may be the percentage of the people who speak Hindi, if Hindi is made the sole official language, then it becomes more advantageous to one segment and disadvantageous to other segments, and creates two segments. Those people who are well versed in Hindi because they had Hindi as their mother tongue, and those people who are trying hard to learn Hindi because their mother tongue is not Hindi. In this context, naturally, the advantage is with the Hindi speaking people, not with the non-Hindi people. Language is a very important instrument in a democracy. In monarchy, the language used by the monarch did not affect the people because the monarch had no concern for the people. His orders were carried out by the officials. We in the past had the monarchs who made Sanskrit for official language, who made Persian for official language, and who had other languages for their official business. But in a democratic age, language should be a link between the ruler and the ruled. Level the link between these Indian states or link with the non-Indian nations. Language should be an effective link between the ruler and the ruled. Through language, people cannot be alienated from the government. Then the question comes, what about Hindi, English? English is definitely a foreign language, you don't deny it, but that English, the disadvantages are equal to all the people of India. But more than that, English brings more benefits to the people of India than any other language which are spoken in India at present. There was no national movement through Sanskrit or through Hindi or through any other Indian language. The national movement was built only by using English. So English was used to resist English rule. We adopted English as the medium of our expression. Through English language, Surendra Banerjee was able to contact people of the Madras Presidency. The other nationalists were able to communicate their views with the people of Bombay or Punjab or with Balochistan. No Indian language served that purpose. Sanskrit did not facilitate the emergence of Indian nationalism, but English facilitated the convergence of learned leaders to form a single national movement for a noble purpose of creating a new, modern, liberated India. So English served a better purpose in the past. At the same time, the BJP now evinces an extraordinary interest in the regional languages. They say that everything should be taught in mother tongue. We welcome that. But that is only one part. There is another part. What about the link language? They try to eliminate English from that list. So it is a gimmick for them to pay encomium to regional languages. Now they are holding a program at Kashi Tamil Sangamam, Kashi Tamil Congregation, as if they are interested in the promotion of Tamil language. They are not allotting any extraordinary amount for the development of Tamil, but they are bringing select audience to Kashi to be brainwashed on certain Hindutva ideas. They say that they are contributing to the national language, they are interested in the regional languages. Our learned friends would know that Tamil Nadu was one of the first states to introduce Tamil as a medium of instruction, both in school and at collegiate level. The Tamil Nadu government had introduced translating of English books into Tamil. Now most of the undergraduate courses in Tamil Nadu are imparted in their own mother tongue, Tamil language. So the Tamils need not be taught about the greatness of Tamil by the BJP in Kashi. So they try to hoodwink people. They try to make it that they are more interested in Tamil than the Tamilians. So it is a political game. All the regional languages must be made as official languages. The greatest service to regional language would be by making optimum use of the regional language for all official purposes. That requires a precondition. Only when the powers are entrusted to the linguistic states, they could use the language of the region for the official purposes. We see a trend now. The powers of the states are being usurped by the center, either covertly or overtly. Day by day, the states are losing their authority in their governance. They are being dictated from the center. When the states are deprived of authority in the governance, in the state polity, how they can be expected to serve the language of the people? only when the powers are, adequate powers are returned to the states, then the languages of the regions would grow and develop. This is the prerequisite. You cannot retain most of the powers of the Delhi and ask states to promote the regional language without allotting any fund for it. The central government is enjoying 80% of the revenue resources. After the introduction of GST, even the remaining amount are being usurped with the center. But they are allotting huge amounts for Sanskrit and Hindi. One of their leaders told that Sanskrit needed central assistance because no state has Sanskrit as the regional language. But Sanskrit is in the list of regional languages. In that case, Hindi is spoken in many states. Why the center need to spend more money on Hindi? So there is no justification for creating two categories of people in India: Hindi knowing people and non-Hindi people. There will be definitely a vast difference, class and caste difference due to it. We want to create an egalitarian society. The egalitarianism that we emphasize would require the optimum use of the language at the regional level. That requires that the power should be devolved to the states. But BJP is insisting on a unitary state. They try to treat all the states as administrative units. They don't treat the states as sovereign constituents. And all of them are to be treated as parts of the Hindu nationalism. There are states in India where non-Hindus are in majority. Maybe their number is few. But still, even if it is, there are few states which are dominated by non-Hindus, they are eligible for a honorable distribution of power, honorable treatment. So Hindi, we don't have any second opinion about treating Hindi as one of the national languages. People's interests must be taken care of. But Hindi as the sole language would make other linguistic groups of secondary citizens. And we don't get any advantage out of it. English is the medium of modernity. English is a medium of modern science and technology and modern ideas of liberalism, democracy, and whatever you call the economic progress, everything. English is a medium. We don't want to live in the past. We want to progress towards the future, a progressive future, for which neither Sanskrit nor Hindi would be useful. English is needed, but as a language, not as the only medium of instruction. We never state that English should be the medium at all levels, but English should be adopted mostly for higher education. And Hindi cannot fill up the vacuum created by the ejection of English. And we don't need two linked languages, one for creating links with the states within India, another for creating links with nations outside India. English will serve both the purposes. When one single English will serve both purposes, what is the need of making Hindi as the sole official language? Hindi had to develop. Hindi had to develop as a modern language. But the responsibility goes to the Hindi-speaking states. The other states also have their own right to make their languages modern. As Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar tried to make Bengali a language fit for the modern age. Every state should have a program to make their language not as an embodiment of conservatism, but as an instrument of change and progress. So that requires additional effort, additional allocation of funds, and more usage of language in the governance of the state. Hence, the BJP schemes to make Hindi as the sole official language is condemnable, and we know that when BJP evinces interest in regional language, that interest is, there is some game behind it. We know that they want to hijack the regional languages for an idea of unitary state and what you call a theocratic concept. We are against it. We want a modern, liberal, democratic, federal, secular state in India. And this official the language policy of the BJP government would derail our progress in the federal democratic system. We want to strengthen the federal democracy. So we stoutly oppose this sole Hindi, the Hindi as a sole official language, because it would create new classes and new caste within India. One exploiting group, another exploited group. We are against any kind of exploitation. We are for egalitarian society, egalitarian polity, and a peaceful coexistence of all different linguistic groups within the Indian Union. So it is to be a union and not a unitary state. Hence, every effort must be made, one, to retain English as an additional official language. The Nehru's promise to the non-Hindi speaking states should be respected in letter and spirit. Second thing, the center must facilitate development of regional languages by giving more freedom, more powers to the states, and also by allotting more funds to the states. Mere power is not sufficient. Funds are also needed. Hence, let us all strive to secure powers and funds for the regional bodies, the linguistic states, so that they could take care of their languages and ensure a better governance in future. If the language is a hindrance, or if the language is a dividing factor, if the language is a stumbling block between the government and the people, we don't want that category of language policy. Language should identify people with the government. Only the regional languages can make the people part of their government. If any other language is imposed on them, that would make them vulnerable. That would make the system more weaker. And we do not want the integration of Indian Union to be disturbed by the over-jealous attitude of the Hindutva forces. Thank you.
உன் கடவுளை விட, உன் சாஸ்திரத்தை விட, உன் முன்னோரை விட, உன் வெங்காயம் வழக்கமாத்தை விட, உன் அறிவு பெருசு, அதை சிந்தி.